Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that tries to cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you need.
That's the plan.
And today, we're diving into corporate finance, which, let's be honest, can feel a bit dense sometimes.
Definitely. Overwhelming is a word that comes to mind. But we're here to break it down.
Good. So we're focusing on TD Power Systems Limited today, an Indian company.
That's right. And we're looking specifically at their very latest filings, the unaudited results for the quarter ending June 30, 2025.
And their investor presentation, too, I believe.
Yes, exactly. Both just released today, August 6th. Hot off the press, you could say.
And right after their board meeting finished, which actually was surprisingly quick.
Oh, how quick?
Well, the filing says it started at 1:00 p.m. and finished by 1:25 p.m. Just 25 minutes.
25 minutes to approve quarterly financials. That is fast.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Super efficient team. Or maybe just very straightforward results.
It certainly suggests a smooth process anyway, especially for unaudited figures.
Right. These haven't had the full external audit yet.
Exactly, which maybe makes the other details, the ones beyond the headlines, even more important to look at.
And the headlines do look good at first glance, don't they? Strong growth mentioned.
They do. TD Power Systems, their main business is manufacturing AC generators, electric motors, and the initial numbers suggest things are going well.
Okay, so surface level looks positive. But we're here for the deep dive, not just the surface.
Precisely, because experienced folks know the real story often hides in the footnotes and the auditor's comments.
That's where the nuances are. Things like the company's global setup, how exactly they report things. That gives you the richer picture.
Yep, so let's try and uncover some of those deeper layers for you.
Okay, let's start with that performance then. Q1 fiscal year 26. What did the numbers show?
Pretty impressive, actually. On a standalone basis, that's just the main Indian company. Net sales jumped quite a bit.
How much are we talking?
Let's see. From about 26,358 lakhs last year to 35,796 lakhs this quarter. That's well over 35% growth year on year.
Wow, okay. Over 35%. And that's translating to the bottom line.
It is. Standalone profit before tax, that was up over 50%. Hit 6,421 lakhs.
Over 50%, nice. And after tax.
Similar story. Profit after tax also grew strongly, nearly 50% year on year, reaching 4,788 lakhs.
Okay, so strong standalone performance. What about when they consolidate everything, all the subsidiaries?
Very similar picture, really. Consolidated net sales were up significantly, too, around 37,190 lakhs.
And the consolidated profit.
Also looking healthy, consolidated profit after tax came in at 5,007 lakhs. So growth across the board, basically.
Which naturally means good news for shareholders in terms of earnings per share.
Right. Basic EPS standalone went from 2.05 to 3.07.
And consolidated.
Consolidated rose, too, from 2.26 up to 3.21. So, yeah, solid numbers, however you slice it.
Definitely solid headlines. But as you always say, there's usually more to the story. What did the auditors have to say in their review? That's where the context comes in.
Exactly. And yes, the auditors did add some important context. They included what's called an emphasis of matter note.
Okay, emphasis of matter. That sounds significant. Is it a red flag?
Not quite a red flag. It's more like a bright yellow light. It doesn't mean the financials are wrong, but it points to something specific the auditors want you, the shareholder, to pay close attention to.
And what was it in this case?
It related to the going concern assumption for one of their Indian subsidiaries.
Going concern, meaning there are doubts about whether that specific part of the business can continue operating smoothly.
That's the gist of it, yes.
No.
Significant doubts about its ability to meet its financial obligations as they fall due.
Okay, but you said it wasn't a red flag. The auditors didn't modify their overall opinion on the financials.
Correct. Their conclusion on the overall consolidated and standalone results was not modified because of this. That's crucial.
So how do we interpret that? The subsidiary has issues, but it doesn't taint the whole picture.
Essentially, yes. The auditors are saying, look, the main financial statements are fairly presented, but pay attention to this specific issue with this subsidiary. It's a known issue, actually.
How so?
Well, the parent company, TD Power Systems Limited, had already made a provision set aside some money back in Q4 of the last financial year, about 300 lakhs for potential impairment related to this investment.
Ah, okay. So they acknowledged the risk financially last quarter.
Right. So the auditors flagging it now isn't entirely new, but it confirms the uncertainty persists. It's something investors need to keep tracking. The issue isn't gone.
Got it. So a yellow light, keep watching. Did the auditors mention anything else, any other matters?
They did. They touched upon the performance of the international parts of the business, and it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Mixed bag how?
Well, for instance, their foreign branch in Japan actually reported a net loss for the quarter, about 112 lakhs.
A loss in Japan. Okay. What about other international spots?
It varies. The report mentions three other foreign subsidiaries that combined actually contributed a net profit of around 298 lakhs.
So Japan's struggling, but other international ventures are profitable.
Exactly. And they also noted another Indian subsidiary reported a loss too, though the amount wasn't specified in that particular note summary.
Interesting. So strong overall profit, but pockets of losses in specific areas like Japan and that one Indian subsidiary.
That's the picture. It highlights the complexity of managing a global business, doesn't it?
It really does. Success in one market doesn't automatically mean success everywhere. What does this mix tell you about their strategy or maybe their management of these different parts?
Well, it's pretty typical for global companies, honestly. Different markets have different economic cycles, competitive pressures, maybe currency
So
issues.
not necessarily alarming on its own.
Not necessarily alarming, no, especially since the profitable parts seem to be outweighing the losses quite significantly in the overall consolidated picture. The key thing is whether management is actively addressing the underperforming units.
Right. Is the Japan loss a temporary blip or a sign of deeper issues there? That's what you'd want to know next.
Precisely. It signals areas where management needs to focus, strategize, maybe make some tough decisions, turnarounds or divestments, perhaps.
Okay, so let's pull this all together then. We started with TD Power Systems Limited,
Yeah.
showing really strong Q1 results overall.
Yes, significant growth. Net sales up over 35% standalone. Profits before and after tax up around 50% year on year. Solid EPS increase too.
But then we dug into the auditor's review, which adds crucial layers.
Absolutely. That emphasis of matter about the Indian subsidiaries going concern issue, important context, even though the overall audit opinion wasn't modified. Remember that provision made last quarter?
A yellow flag to monitor, not a stop sign.
Well put.
Yeah.
And then the other matters showed the varied performance internationally, the loss in Japan.
Contrasted with profits from other foreign subsidiaries plus another Indian subsidiary loss, a mixed international footprint performance-wise.
Right. It paints a much more nuanced picture than just looking at the booming headline profit number.
So it leads to a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about.
Hmm.
Given these strong overall results for TD Power Systems, what does it tell you about how a global company builds resilience and manages strategically? Especially when you factor in these details like a going concern note for one part, or the fact that not all international ventures are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, how do these deeper layers, the ones you only find by digging into the auditor's notes, influence how you think about the company's actual long-term health and its ability to juggle all these different pieces?
Something to definitely mull over. We hope this deep dive gave you the context to do just that.